This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and the glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren that's teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. All right, shalom to the few Akwaf that are out there listening and learning in their proper positions. And shalom to the elect, 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom. I'm the brother Dama Al-Gibar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, and we're going to show you a clear example of the wicked bearing rule. And as it says here, you know, when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn. All right, and let's go to this word mourn. You see? And the word mourn in the Hebrew is na. All right? It says to sigh, groan in pain or grief, to moan of cattle. You see? Yep. It says to groan, sigh. Let's look up, see what else we got in here. Yep. It says of the thing which is the cause of the groaning. Right. And why are the people groaning? Because why? The wicked are in authority. The wicked are in rulership. You know? And people are catching pure hell under this current administration of Donald Trump, man. You know, people are groaning, people are pissed, people are angry, people are protesting, you know, and this is what this lesson is geared about. Because all morning I've just been watching these videos of all of these king protests, no king's protests, which is basically the people moaning and groaning because of the authority of the wicked. You know, people are complaining of the gas prices. People can't afford homes. You know, people can't afford health care. You know, here it is in the richest country on the face of the earth. People can't afford health care, man. But at the same time, they're spending trillions and billions of dollars a day fighting a war that nobody in this country approves of, man. You know, right now they're sending 50,000 troops that's getting ready to be sacrificed and slaughtered in a war that nobody is down with, that nobody believes should even be happening right now. You know, an illegal and unconstitutional war is being waged by the powers that be. You know, when you got these senators and mayors saying that they'll sacrifice as many Americans as they need to for this war, which is only going to cause what? More grief, more anger, more protesting, more of the people being fed up. And it's ultimately going to eventually lead to an uprising here in this country, in America, in Babylon the Great, which is all prophetic, man. You see, so everything is dancing to the tune of prophecy because, you know, ultimately the people are crying and moaning because they're looking for a new rulership on this earth, man. Hey, this country is definitely needs new management. And the current management is absolutely horrendous, man. You know, hey, and these people are fed up. And it's only going to be a matter of time before, you know, these protests turn violent and angry and, you know, pretty much they're going to spiral out of control. But again, it's just all signs of the times of the end. So let's play this little quick video.
Welcome back. Take a look at this. A massive crowd gathered in downtown Los Angeles over the weekend to protest against the Trump administration's policies and the war with Iran. And this is just one of thousands of so-called No Kings rallies seen across the country and the world this past Saturday. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes brings us more on this. Nancy, I know you were also following a major protest there in the nation's capital. How did things unfold?
That's right, Errol. These were the third and largest so far of these nationwide No Kings rallies that have taken place since President Trump's second term began last year. Here in the nation's capital, there were thousands of people who marched across the Arlington Memorial Bridge and onto the National Mall to demonstrate against presidential actions that they argue are threatening democracy itself.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
From Washington, D.C.
No
to New Orleans
we will not put up with ICE.
to Sacramento. No ICE, no war, no kings. Millions took to the streets in protests all across the country on Saturday to express their disapproval of President Trump. Many said they were unhappy with the president's military action against Iran.
They said no more wars. We're in a war.
Others protested the administration's actions to deter illegal immigration.
The Constitution is important. ICE is out of control.
A rally at the state capitol in St. Paul, Minnesota, designated as the national flagship event, drew tens of thousands. Bruce Springsteen paid tribute to Renee Good and Alex Preddy, who were killed by federal agents in Minneapolis.
Their sacrifice and their names will not be forgotten.
Large protests were even held in some red states like Florida.
I want my country back. I was raised Republican, but these aren't Republicans.
Despite their size, a White House spokesperson dismissed the rallies as, quote, Trump derangement therapy sessions.
The people who have Trump derangement syndrome are the people, the MAGA people who are supporting him.
The latest CBS News poll shows that just about 40% of Americans approve of President Trump's job performance, and an overwhelming number of Americans say that they should not have to pay more for gas in order to fund President Trump's war in Iran. The Democrats are hoping that sentiments like these, Errol, will drive more of their voters to the polls in the midterm elections this November.
Yeah, but it don't matter. All that voting bullshit is all just a joke, all right? Because at the end of the day, you know, the wicked are going to be in authority, whether you have a Republican or a Democrat in office, man. Because ultimately what you have to understand is that this government has been hijacked, has been brought and paid for and corrupted by the elites, by the powers that be. And they're, they're going to do the bidding of their overlords, man. And they're going to continue to do the bidding, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. You know, they're going to continue to do the bidding of Israel because they've brought, all these politicians and governors and even presidents are brought and paid for, man. You see, but it's just all signs of the end of this age and the end of this society, man. All right, Babylon is done. It's cooked. It's not gonna be any better. All this marching and this protesting is not gonna do anything. All is demonstrating is prophecy coming to pass, man. All right, so you people can protest and march all you want. Here it is, right? While these people were protesting and marching, over 9 million people supposedly, and you had protests over there in I think in the Philippines or somewhere too. You know, while they were protesting and doing all this shit against Trump, this nigga was over there playing golf in Mar-a-Lago or somewhere, man. You see, so it just shows you that these mayors and these governors and the presidents, they don't give a fuck about the people, man. He don't even give a fuck about his own military troops. He's about to sacrifice 50,000 troops in a so-called ground invasion over there in Iran. You know, and they also have a draft already prescribed and pre-written to enact. You know, to send more of you American people into this war that nobody wants, man. You see, because these elites, you know, they have an agenda, and hey, they don't mind cracking a few eggs to make this omelet of this new world order. You see? But like I said, at the end of the day, we understand that it's all prophecy at the end of the day, man. It's all just setting the stage for, you know, the end of this age. And it's the second Ezra 9:1. And he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest parts of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, you see? And this is why all these things are happening and why they're going to continue to happen, because they're all prophetic signs. And it's going to lead to what? The Lord Yahweh sending back his only begotten son and our Savior, Yahushua, to come back and to judge this world, man. You see? And all these things that you see are all just tokens and signs of that's getting ready to happen. This is verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, you see? And this is what you see, uproars of the people in the world. And watch this. Hey, as this war, which is going to drag on, it's not going to be over in a couple of days. Like I said, if you know, they're not sending those ground troops over there because this war is over and the war is won. They're sending in ground troops because they plan on dragging this war out, man. And the more this war is going to be drug out, the more you're going to see, you know, more mourning of the people, more supply disruptions, energy disruptions, rationing of goods and services. They're already telling you how they're getting ready to bring energy lockdowns. You see, because like I said, a lot of this shit is being done intentionally by these elites to wear out you people, to bring more stress, bring more confusion, more perplexity upon the citizens, and ultimately because they want you people to react. They want these American citizens to lose it and to get violent so that they could bring in an insurrection act, bring in martial law, lock shit down, further collapse this economy because they want to bring the chaos because they have a plan out of the chaos, which is this NWO, man. You see, but at the same time, all these things are happening because, it's the will of the Lord, and these prophecies need to come to pass so that the Lord can come back and put an end to all this bullshit. It says, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the day that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. See? And the Lord is making the end very manifest, man. Hey, but these things are all just signs of the time, man. You see? And just showing you that America is through, man. It is what it is. You see, Jake, you better get your mind right, man, and understand the times that you're living in and what you need to do in this, before the Most High to be on his good side, man. All right. You don't want to keep putting your trust and your faith in Egypt or America because it's going to end up being to your shame, because this place is not going to be healed. This place is not going to get any better. It's going to continue to circle the drain until eventually it's going to ultimately collapse, man. You see? And it's only going to continue to be further division, uproars of the people. Eventually it's going to be seditions, famines, plagues, pestilences, neighbors fighting against neighbor for the lack of bread. All those prophetic signs are all approaching this place, man. You see, this is Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called them unto him, and he said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And this is where America is, man. It's a house divided on every level, man. You see? And it's going to ultimately lead to this place collapsing. It's going to eventually lead to civil war, race wars, food wars, like I said, uprising against the government, sedition, lawlessness, martial law, all these different things are coming to this place. It says, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. See? And this is what's coming here to America. Eventually it's in, man. And all of these protests and these uproars of the people are just all signs of the end. All right. And the signs of the return of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, which is going to come and put an end to all of this bullshit. He's going to judge these nations. He's going to pull the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, out of the rulership. And he's going to establish a righteous government, a righteous government and rulership upon this earth where the people will rejoice. In fact, let me get that. What was that? Ecclesiastes 12 or 10? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. See? Oh, let me read up. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 10:1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. So obviously, this is not a well ordered government because you don't have a prudent, wise judge. You have a foolish judge. You know what? It made me think of this. What was it? This Turkish proverb I just heard the other day. It says, when you put a clown in a mansion, the house becomes a circus. They say when you put a clown, when you put a clown as a king, how does it go? Something like that. When you put a clown as a king, when you put a clown in a mansion, when you put a clown in a palace, the house becomes a circus, And when you put a clown on the throne, something like that. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. When you put a clown in castle, is this it? That Turkish proverb? Yeah, here we go. It says, when you put a clown into a palace, he doesn't become a king. The palace becomes a circus. Frequently cited as a Turkish proverb, this metaphor means that an unqualified person in a position of power does not gain competence. Instead, they degrade the institution to the level of their own behavior. You see? And this is what you see with Trump. You see? This is exactly what we see happening, man. You see? So it says what? A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. So obviously, this is why I read that Proverbs, man. This is why when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn, man. And this place, America, is nothing more but a goddamn circus, and it's a laughing stock, man, because they got a clown sitting as a king, which is Trump. Why do you think they're having these no kings protests, man? You see? And this place, America, has become a circus. This place is just completely yeah, bro. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. You see? And this is why you see a complete unraveling of the American so-called empire, man. Because they got clowns and losers in office and be put in positions of power, man. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. See? And who's going to be the one that's going to ultimately be profitable over this earth is going to be Yahushua, you know, under King David and Yahushua, and then King David under him and 144,000. All right, we're going to bring righteousness into this earth, man. See, that's when the people are going to rejoice, when we're in rulership, and when the Israelites, you know, when we're in our right minds with the new bodies, you know, with the law, statutes, and commandments in our inward part, man. You just watch and see how well ran our government and rulership over this earth is going to be. And these nations are going to rejoice, and they're going to be happy. Hey, they're going to eat real food. They're going to drink clean water. They're going to have clean air. They're not going to have to worry about all of this wickedness and corruption and, you know what I mean, all these wars and, you know what I mean, all this bullshit that you see, you know, microplastics, you know, plastic every goddamn where. Dimming of the sunlight, chemtrails, heavy metals in the air, you know, cancer, death. None of this shit is going to exist in our kingdom, man, because it's going to be a kingdom that's going to be ruled with righteous and a wise kingdom, a wise rulership, man. Let me jump down here. Verse 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. See, and this is what you see all of these no kings protests and all the uproars of the people are all about. It's because the Lord is getting ready to bring a new management and a new rulership unto this earth, which is going to dwell in righteousness, man. And the people are going to rejoice and they're going to love it, man. You know, but hey, it is what it is. But these are just the times that we're in, and we see the unraveling of this society, man. And guess what? There's going to be more protests. There's going to be more uprisings. There's going to be more uproars of the people, because, you know, shit is not going to go back to the way that people want it to be. So, hey, these people are going to continue to be upset and pissed and mad and angry until, you know, this place is ended, man. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, you are edified. Until the next one, Shalom.